G'day solar people. So I did a a battery install, a Tesla, just before Christmas, and it's just dawned on me that I've made a really dumb mistake with the installation, and as a result it's going to cost me hundreds of dollars. Now, I called it bullshitted my way through this and made up some crappy excuse to my client to avoid having to pay their power bill, which was a result of me making a mistake. But I'm going to share it with you, and hopefully it'll help out some other installers and possibly some consumers, and maybe enlighten some people who think things aren't possibly right with their power bill or their battery install. Okay, so the scenario is it's a single phase home with a Tesla Powerwall. I did the installation, I did the handover to my client. Everything went perfect. The whole installation went as normal. Did the handover, explained the app, and made sure that the system was working properly by doing a backup test. So I shut down the grid, the main switch, and made sure that the system was backing up as it was supposed to, and that the single phase Fronius inverter was islanding, producing power still, even though the grid was missing. So I did all that, and then a few calls after, which is normal, especially with an older client who doesn't quite get the technology and everything. But about 2 months later, I got a fairly assertive phone call from my client, who just received this power bill for that amount of money. Naturally, he was pretty pissed off. Don't blame him, I would have been too. After the battery installation, his power bill should have been zero, and if anything, probably in credit, because his power bills were already really low due to having solar and pretty frugal power consumption. So on receiving that, the phone call and the information about his power bill, I said to him, look, the problem's got to be with Synergy, which is our electrical energy retailer over here. The problem's got to be with Synergy. Give them a call. They've made a mistake in reading the meter or something like that, because I know everything's fine. So give them a call. It's obviously a mistake. Anyway, a few days passed by. He rings me back. He's pretty upset. There's been a few messages in between, and he's like, Jason, Synergy won't help me. Western Power won't help me. I need you to come out and have a look at this, because I'm not paying the bill, and I also got a loan for the Tesla Powerwall, which was his prerogative. I don't deal in finance or anything. That's not an area for me to delve into. He got his own personal loan for it, but whatever. There's ongoing expenses, and he's majorly pissed off. Anyway, I go online and say, look, I don't need to come out. I can see the data through Tesla Power Hub, which is the platform that us installers use to look at our systems. We can't see this, which is the app. We can't see that as installers. We go to Tesla Power Hub, and I can see from Tesla Power Hub that by his data, the system is working as it should be. There is no issue. He's not drawing any power from the grid. Everything is fine. It's honky-dory. It's all doing what it should be. Anyway, so he goes back to Synergy, and this goes to and fro for a bit, and in the end he rings me and says, look, you must come out and have a look at it. Something's not right, and I can see I'm still drawing power from the grid, because now he's logged into Synergy's real-time monitoring as well, and he can see that he is drawing power from the grid, whereas I can see absolutely nothing. So I go to site. I once again turn off his main switch, which is this one here. That's the supply coming from the grid. So the grid power comes in, this is his line, this is the main switch, then that then goes out to the Tesla gateway. Hopefully you can see that okay. So I go under the switchboard, turn it off, and the first thing I noticed is that his air conditioner shuts off. I was like, oh, okay, well that shouldn't have happened, but maybe it's a glitch. Sometimes there is a millisecond where the power will drop out, and some appliances and that don't like it. So I asked him to go and turn his aircon back on. He goes inside, comes outside, says there's no power going to it whatsoever. I'm like, okay, that's really weird. Let's have a closer look. So what I noticed is this is the air conditioner circuit breaker here. Why it's got Tesla written on it, I don't know. It's definitely not a Tesla circuit breaker. The supply to this circuit breaker comes from here, which that cable goes behind this mess of cables in the switchboard and comes out here. So that's the supply to the air conditioner. Now what I noticed is I had stuffed up and put that cable in there. Okay, so this is after I've moved the cable back to where it should be, but that cable, the supply to the air conditioner, was in here. Okay, and this is on the line side of the gateway, which I'll explain in a second on that little diagram there. So I don't know why I did that. He was in my ear the whole time while I was trying to work, which for me is a red flag, because if I'm going to make a mistake, it's when someone's chewing my ear off and I'm trying to just do my job. But he's a lovely gentleman and I was enjoying talking to him. The installation was going well. I had plenty of time. I was in a good mood. So we were chatting to and fro. He's asking about solar, about batteries, about EVs, all sorts of stuff. So maybe because I was distracted and I wasn't really thinking, I put this cable in there, because as you can see, the main, so this is the old main switch. So this is the main switch now coming from the gateway, whereas before it was coming from the grid. So because it's so full, I will generally try and avoid putting other sub-circuits in there, because it can get messy and you can get hot spots and stuff like that through, you know, not making contact properly in there. So that's probably why I put it in there, not realizing that, okay, you've just put that on the line side to the gateway. So what was happening is the air conditioner was actually getting its power from the grid. And because it was before the gateway, I wasn't seeing that data in the Tesla app. So I'll try and explain it a bit better on here. Is this is his line coming in. This is the meter for the energy retailer. This is the main switch that I've just been explaining to you in the switchboard. So that is that switch there. And that then goes into the Tesla gateway, which is about 2 meters away on the wall. So this cable comes into the Tesla gateway. We've got another main switch for the gateway to isolate it if you're working on it. And then we've got this device here called a CT, which is the measuring device. Now this is the device that gives us all these numbers in the gateway, all right? So that particular one was on here, the supply from the grid. This is my app, by the way. This isn't that particular client. I'll just bring it up so I can show you. So all those figures, those kilowatt figures, are gathered from CTs within the Tesla gateway, which is the white box on the wall over there. So that's got all the electronics and CTs and all sorts of stuff in it. So it comes from the meter box into the Tesla gateway, which is the brains of our Tesla battery. Goes through the CT, through a relay which activates when the grid drops out, so it then isolates itself from the grid and becomes a standalone system. Comes out of the relay, through this other main switch back to the switchboard, and then it goes through our other circuit breakers for our loads, which I've just drawn one there, but it's actually all those ones there, including the aircon, so there'd be multiple circuit breakers there. And then off to our loads. Okay, so if that's all done properly, all that energy is being captured by this CT here. What my dumb ass did was put the supply for the air conditioner in the line side of the gateway. So this is the line side all the way to there, and then this is the load side out of the gateway. I put it here, and then that went straight out through that circuit breaker and then off to the actual air conditioner. So when I turned this switch off, there was no power to the, when I turned this switch off, because this relay opened, there was no power to the air conditioner anymore. Okay, and What it also meant is because this was before the Tesla gateway and the CT, it wasn't being measured anymore. So I wasn't seeing that data in the Tesla gateway, which was making me so adamant that everything was okay. But he was seeing it because Synergy are getting their readings from here. So I missed out on all that. So as a result of a dumb mistake, I've owned it. I'm going to pay his power bill, and I've rectified the situation. And we've been monitoring it now, and it's all working as it should be. So there we go. Dumb mistake. Thought I'd share that one with you. Hopefully it'll help out some other installers and possibly consumers who may be questioning their power consumption. So yeah, that's about that. I have got some other exciting things coming up. I've got lots on the go at the moment with off-grid systems, which I'll do some videos on later. I'm at home in the office today, but I've got a Selectronic system that I'll be doing, which is an off-grid one coupled with a Fronius inverter. And I've got 2 Victron systems that I need to get built and installed as well. So they'll be coming up over the next few months. I'll probably do videos on, I'll definitely do one on the Selectronic. Selectronic is an Australian-owned, Australian-made company which built an awesome inverter. So I'll definitely do a video on that one. The Victron stuff I've done before, so I probably won't do one on that. And I've also had a bit of a change in my business model, which is very outside of what I'm actually doing now. I'll still be in the industry, but in a different manner. So I'll bring you details on that soon too. Righto, cheers for watching.